So as I sit here in the, well, almost complete darkness, waiting for the Perseid meteor shower to start, I look out at the man-made lights across the water and realize, we figured out ways to pierce the darkness, but really, if you were here, you'd see when you looked up that there were thousands of stars. We're a bit too close to civilization, and of course, if you've gone out to the country, you know what it's like, a remote area. There are millions upon millions of stars, and it's such a simple logic, though hard to fathom, that the lights that are brighter are the ones that are closer to you, and the lights that are fainter are the ones that are further away, so you get a sense of depth in the skyline. But that made me think of some things. So let me bring us back to reality. There's a stone, there's a bench, there's me. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to stare at this light, but it's HD, so we'll try. You see, light out of darkness always makes me think of the creationist myth, and when it makes me think of the creationist myth, it makes me think of Big Bang as well. And when I think of Big Bang, I think of something out of nothing, and how beautiful that is. You have void, or the idea of a void, nothingness, which can either mean an absence of a thing or the infinite potential for something to appear. And then something appears. Hence thing, hence form, hence universe. Now, we can get into the theology of, is it divine plan? Is it manifest? Is it flying spaghetti monster? Is it just random, subatomic, superstring 10th dimensional event that creates this, oops that is us? But I want to tell you a quick little story as I sit here staring at the empty but full sky. My favorite creationist myth. It's kind of a Hindu one. They have many, they vary. But it's about the start of the universe. And it kind of plays on a very human idea. It's the idea of boredom. So there's Brahman, all right? Before Brahman is Brahman, before thing is thing, before consciousness actually has the capital C, there's just it. And it's sitting in the infinite void, but not sitting because it has no ass to sit on, and there is no void because there is no thing, so you can't compare it to something versus nothing. It's just all and nothing. And it, not it, is sitting there, not there, aware of every moment and every potential moment and every moment past, present, future, because it's all the same thing. So perfect awareness, no form required, but all form at the same time, just I know who I am, I know everything in all moments, I'm fucking awesome. And that's kind of cool. But in this old creationist myth, as the story goes, as above, so below, if we as humans were doing something for an infinite period of time, and it was unchanging, how would we feel? Well, yeah. Bored. So why would the creator with consciousness in mind, though infinitely more complex than our own, we might be little pieces of it, why wouldn't it get bored? And in this story, it did. The great consciousness, after an infinite period of time, but not infinite because there was no time, and after an infinite period of space and events, but there were no spaces, and there were no events, decided, hey, I'm bored, and I'm unchanging, and that's bad. I need change. I need perspective. Well, what do I have? I have perfect consciousness and awareness of all things. What would happen if I lost that? And as soon as the thought was had, sleepy time, the big sleep. And in that moment, bang, the big bang. Consciousness spreads out to the far corners of the universe. Subatomic particles, tiny strands, quarks, what have you, starting to combine together, creating, plasma, and then gas, and then liquids, and then solids, and then stars, and then planets, and then systems, and then, microscopic creatures, and then more complex creatures, and then more complex creatures, and then more complex interactions, and, eventually till you're having a bag of Cheetos on the couch watching the latest episode of Hell's Kitchen. But that's the thing, isn't it? That explosion of consciousness to go into unconsciousness. So from infinite awareness into form, going to sleep, having a dream of this reality. Now, if you were bored and you hadn't been challenged in an infinity, and you wanted to be completely challenged, you would create a scenario where you would lose yourself completely and then try to get it back. If every particle in this universe, every speck of dust, every atom, every whisker on every cat's face in reality, and every one of us is a tiny corner of that great mind, a little piece, a little mirror, a little hologram, then each time we connect or collide or come together, that's a little corner of that big mind dreaming that starts to wake up. Think about that. According to that myth, right now, as you watch this, if you get this, then a little corner of the big mind is waking up in the darkness. Thoughts like that keep me warm at night. Sweet dreams.